In the first half alone, Jimmy, Swift had 22 assists. Santa Lucia had only 8. And there you see the absence of Jerry Esplana on the floor.
And Nolly, we covered the first game of the semifinal round. And it was Swift versus Santa Lucia. What was the difference? Of course, Santa Lucia won that ball game. And now Santa Lucia is down here by so much.
Well, as I said at the top of the coverage, Santa Lucia will have to execute well, and that's going to be the key in this ball game. Swift has done it very well here in this first half and here in the start of the third quarter so far. And again, the key figure for Santa Lucia has been Jerry Esplana. Rick Marata has not been able to step into the shoes of Jerry Esplana. Marata has only scored 2 points so far. Esplana had 24 in that first meeting last November 7th.
And I wonder what the assist numbers are with these two teams.
Well, that should be very obvious since Swift, or rather Santa Lucia, has only made 8 assists in the first half. In that first game alone, Jerry Esplana had 8 during the November 7 meeting. So certainly Marata is not doing the job so far here.
A foul committed by the Swift Mighty Meaties. It was on Vergel Meneses, who top scored for the Meaties in the first half with 19 points. One thing missing also from the game of Santa Lucia is the absence of scoring by Sandro Limpot.
That's right. Sandro Limpot had 32 last time out. So far, he has only scored 5 points in the first half. Of course, Andy De Guzman has picked up his performance with 17 points in the first half alone. But that's not going to be enough. They have to get some backcourt scoring. And more importantly, Santa Lucia will have to pick it up in terms of intensity on the defensive end.
14 points for Alvarez. Tony Harris against Delantes. He had to do a fall away and it drops in. And that'll be his 23rd point of the ball game, Tony Harris. And the Swift lead has ballooned.
Well, it's very obvious that the adjustment that was made by Nat Canson is to play Tony Harris straight up. One-on-one defense, nobody trying to help out. So far, it has not worked as Tony Harris has burned them with a couple of baskets here. Lambert Shell with a good turnaround jumper. Still a 14-point lead for the Mighty Meaties.
Again, Tony Harris. Continuation will be called and a foul committed against him.
When you have a guy who's on the open floor from the top of the key and will be able to bring it all the way to the basket, you're not playing defense at all here. Tony Harris has done that a couple of times. Possible three-point play. Delantes picks up foul number 2.
That also was team foul number 2 for Santa Lucia Realty. Harris will convert from the 4.5-meter line. Timeout is called by Santa Lucia with that much of a lead by Swift. We'll be back. Isang best lang. A no conversion by Limpot, some fancy dribbling and a recovery by, no, it's a steal by Santa Lucia. Unselfishly, Andy De Guzman hands it over to Alvarez. Score, 74-59. The Swift Mighty Meaties are ahead. Harris has the basketball. He is directing play for the Meaties. Good defensive job by Alvarez. There was a free Saldana right there. On the sideline inbound, the receiver is Tony Harris. 8 seconds on the shot clock for the Swift Mighty Meaties. Saitono only has 4 seconds. Solis has 2, and it doesn't drop, but Saldana is right there.
Great offensive rebound by Terry Saldana as the shot clock was winding down here. Back to a 17-point lead for Swift.
Rick Marata hasn't gotten his share of the scoring tonight for Santa Lucia, and neither has Sandro Limpot. A foul committed by Saldana. 15-point lead.
During that timeout, Jimmy Max Delantes was removed from the hard court and replaced by Paul Alvarez. In the meantime, De Guzman will pick up foul number 4 here as he tried to play tough defense on Tony Harris. He will have to sit down, and Toying Teves checks back in his place.
Taking turns at Tony Harris, Toying Teves, and previously Andy De Guzman, and then for a while Delantes. But Meneses.
This is a good matchup. Both high flyers here.
What a pass to Nelson Asaitono, and a nice finish to that assist pass of Meneses.
Swift continues to move the ball and look for the higher percentage shot here, and that's why their scoring percentage has also improved. Another getaway, this time by Jun Limpot.
Left alone in the candy store, and he made a slam, and
a turnover,
yes,
by Swift. So this could be a possible momentum grabber for Santa Lucia. There you see that slam a while back from the baseline.
Limpot making sure, gave it to Alvarez far out. Inside the paint. It's a follow-up by Sandro Limpot. And who calls the timeout? It's the Swift Mighty Meaties. We'll be back. Kaliwete pala to si Marcial. It was an attempt at an alley-oop, but then when he landed, he took the shot right underneath the rim. Excellent pass coming off Harris, and now an excellent layup for Lambert Shell.
But you know, Santa Lucia cannot afford to just trade baskets here. They've got to come up with some stops. Coach Yenga called a timeout because he wants to remind his boys that, hey, we cannot let the momentum go. We're on top by 13 here.
Underneath, again Saldana. He missed that one. Alvarez on a 3-on-4.
Oh, a bad pass by Alvarez. Wasted an opportunity there.
And this is to Al Solis. What a switch from right to left.
That's a great move from Al Solis off a good pass coming from Meneses. Teves forced into that pushing foul. That's number 1 on Toying Teves.
All the experience of so many years of playing basketball here in the PBA. Usually you won't expect to push from behind, but when he got the pass, he somehow knew that there was someone behind him and switched the ball from his right to his left hand and almost converted.
Originally drafted by Shell, of course. An offensive rebound and a foul here.
Oh yes, that'll be on Lambert Shell. Foul number 3. Al Solis has been a vital cog of the Swift Mighty Meaty squad. We could call him their go-to guy in situations.
From a champion team, from a regular team here in the PBA, you've got to have a marquee player, a guy you go to at the clutch, a go-to move, as they say, if you want to be a powerhouse team in the PBA. And you look at Pure Foods, they got, you know, a low post player in Patrimonio, and of course Swift has Tony Harris, Nelson Asaitono, and Al Solis to really go to when the chips are down. And now, of course, Jun Limpot is starting to become that kind of a player for Santa Lucia.
Lambert Shell got it from Limpot. It doesn't drop. Foul committed by Saldana. It'll be foul number 2 on Terry Saldana.
Lambert Shell, not known very much for his leaping ability, but look at the way he moves his feet there, getting off those sandwiches, and still gets up a shot. He goes to the free throw line, gets the first free throw. 83% free throw shooter is Lambert Shell.
From the field, Swift is 7 out of 8. Santa Lucia is 7 out of 9.
That's why this game has been well played so far, although Swift has really dominated it.
Alvarez cutting the middle, and then he passed off to Lambert Shell. Picking it up is Sandro Limpot. And it's a possible 3-point play for the rookie.
Ika nga, napaganda pa. Jun Limpot picking up the loose ball off a tap by Nelson Asaitono. And the rookie knows what to do when he's inside.
Limpot only had 5 points in the first half. He now has 11.
That's the other amazing thing in Jun Limpot. He's starting to know how to pace himself here in the PBA. There used to be a time when he would really take it by himself in the first 2 quarters and then lose steam in the fourth. Now he's beginning to pace himself well and dominate in the late quarters, as we see another offensive foul caused by Limpot trying to challenge in midair.
We were just talking about him, and it was an excellent piece of defense displayed by the rookie.
Watch this again.
He will not grab for that basketball. He will just put his hand in front of the rim.
And that's the kind of respect that Limpot gains here. And he's given by the imports. They know his shot blocking ability, they know his talents, and certainly Jun Limpot has come of age here.
Lamberchel. Double team, no one to pass to. Oh, there's Toying Tevez.
Well, Toying Tevez was there for about 3 days. The pass was not getting to him, but he waited and he was patient. Lead is down to 9 here.
Toying Tevez will foul Tony Harris before Harris crossed the center line. Tevez commits foul number 2, and that is team foul number 6 for Santa Lucia. 5 minutes and 32 remaining. We're in the third quarter of this ball game. The open lane for Harris.
Well, that time he got the momentum he needed to get him elevated. Good athleticism. Lead is back to 11 here.
Some admirers of Noli Ayala on our screen right there. That was Ding Dong of Estado, I believe. And Tevez will miss. Oh, Alvarez is able to fish for that foul underneath.
Very creative in the air. Alvarez knew that somebody was behind him. After he picks up an offensive rebound, he goes the other way, uses his body and his leaping ability to get up the shot and pick up a foul.
Just 11. And a chance to chop it down for Alvarez. First one goes in.
Big story of 1993 also is Paul Alvarez. Of course, he had to sit out a couple of conferences before finally agreeing to a Santa Lucia offer. Misses the free throw, but gets his own miss, puts it up. Oh, too strong.
No foul that time. Nelson Asaitono. Oh, one-hander of a ball fake, and then he went in. 12-point lead. Lamberchel is double teamed. He gives it back to Regreg Marata. Marata to Zandro Limpot. Fall away. And there's Alvarez. There was a push right underneath the rim. Could go against Lamberchel. Or was it Toying Tevez?
Well, this is a shot that Santa Lucia expects Limpot to make here. Fadeaway jumper, line drive there. A little strong. And there's the push underneath by Toying Tevez to get Tony Harris out of the play. So Santa Lucia still not being able to exploit the momentum that they gained a while back. Lead is back to 12 here.
Harris wanted to go to the left. Excellent double team by Zandro Limpot, but he committed the foul.
This is a good call by referee Bartolome. At the first instance, Limpot had the ball, but then he put his hand down. Watch his play. There was still no call there. Then finally Limpot puts down his right hand, and that's where the foul was called.
On the nape of Tony Harris. Mr. T. $29 points for Harris.
Remember, both teams are coming off victories against Pure Foods. Of course, Swift had a big morale booster there with an overtime win against the Hot Dogs 2 nights ago, or 3 nights ago rather.
Zandro Limpot. It's Nelson Asaitono on him, and also Reyes. Foul committed by Nelson Asaitono. That was foul number 3 for Nelson Asaitono. 17 fouls now for the Swift Mighty Meaties. Meneses is replaced.
Well, this brings more shooting from the outside. Of course, less ceiling, but Swift is safely ahead by 14 right now.
Rick Marata on a running jumper from the stripe. He has picked up his scoring, Noli.
That's right. We can't overstress the fact that Marata has to score. He is the key here because then the defense underneath will be freed a little bit more for the big men of Santa Lucia.
Solis to Rudy Distrito. It was a handoff. Benefited was Reyes. He was not even the option, but the ball just went his way. Laberchel. Picked up by Eric Reyes. Now, Zandro Limpot. No move from Nelson Saitono. Even a hand on the face of Zandro Limpot. And Limpot now has 14.
3 and 14 remaining as well here in the third quarter. Santa Lucia hanging on.
Swift with a 12-point lead. It'll stay that way. Marata to Alvarez, using the glass. It didn't crawl in. Asaitono to Harris. 3-on-3. Harris will take the shot. 11 assists and 32 points for Tony Harris.
Well, again, Santa Lucia will have to be wary about being lured into that running game. One-on-one play. Asaitono against Limpot, and Limpot again gets away. Gets the basket, so the big man starting to really deliver the goods here.
Seemed like a new studied move by Zandro Limpot that time.
Well, every day this young guy is really revealing a lot of moves.
Harris moving to the right.
Just too strong for Toing Teves.
Oh yes. And look, all the defense Toing Teves could muster.
Well,
right
he played
here.
excellent defense here. Put his hands up, went up with Tony Harris, but Harris was just overpowering underneath.
Oh yes.
And you've got to look for somebody really to match up against Harris, especially when he gets the ball underneath.
Very honest defense by Toing Teves. But in spite of that, Harris at the stripe and getting his 35th point.
And he is only 2 rebounds away from a triple-double here tonight. 15-point game.
Rick Marata, his own version of a possible 3-point play on the other end. Alvarillo with foul number 1. Over the limit, the Swift Mighty Meteors.
Well, this is what Jerry Esplana brings to this ball club. That penetration for a small guy, trying to force the guards of the defensive team to play honest defense and not double team down low. Marata has to do that much more here. Completes a 3-point play, and he cuts down the lead of Swift to 12 points. 2 minutes remaining in the third quarter.
Marata scoring 5 points in this quarter, and it has changed the complexion of the ball game. Rudy Distrito to Tony Harris, a cut by Reyes. Saitono, Alvarillo. And Reyes can't grab that pass. Oh, Limpot, 2-hander this time.
Great pass by Lambert Shell. Lead is down to 10, but that was keyed off a turnover. Good rotation that time by Shell, reading the play. Another turnover here.
Alvarez leading the break for Santa Lucia. Rick Marata over to Lambert Shell. Only against 3 defenders. Another chance at an offensive. Alvarez is blocked and fouled by Reyes.
Well, Swift got caught napping on defense, particularly Tony Harris. He's not yet in the picture here. That's why they were outnumbered. Reyes forced into that foul. So Harris cheating on defense, and Alvarez has an opportunity to make him pay.
1 minute and 9 seconds remaining in this third quarter. The offense of Alvarez has picked up.
This is the time when your pulse is really running high, and you've got to be able to control that in order to take good free throws. In the meantime, Eric Reyes has been relieved by Terry Saldana.
18 for Bong Alvarez.
Lead is down to 9 here from a high of 17.
with a minute remaining. Harris. There's that double team, and then Saldana's underneath. Again, the possible alley-oop play.
Well, that's the difference now with the Santa Lucia defense, as there are only 9 seconds in the shot clock. Alley-oop play.
Short in the execution by Tony Harris. Lambert Shell is telling Zandro Limpot, let's slow things down a bit. Post up against Nelson Asaitono.
Oh, what a
goal! And somehow, the lack of an effort to defend against Limpot made that slam more spectacular.
Well, that was why Lambert Shell was saying, low, post down low, you can take this guy. Reminds you of Hakeem Olajuwon there.
Rudy Distrito, oh yes, the fireman at this point.
Well, that's the experience of Rudy Distrito. He knows when to take the shot. He has not taken a lot of shots here tonight, but when it's needed, he comes to the rescue.
Lambert Shell. Very little time. Short Harris. And Barata.
Yeah!
Oh, beating the buzzer. And that's it for this third quarter, with Swift enjoying only a